Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Bashem Rakahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, rule and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, Aki, and pushing this truth throughout the four winds in sincerity and diligence. Okay. The name of this lesson is going to be the just get over it phrase. And you hear this from any other race that hasn't been through what we've been through as a people. Okay, so just want to go into some things, been doing some reading over it, and through the spirit of hope is edifying. Okay, so this page is 5 ways your family history affects your mental health. Okay, now when it comes to mental health, brain health, your family history matters. Scientific research has shown that having family members with depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, addictions, dementia increases your risk. Okay. Now, genetic makeup. Let's go into the genetic makeup. Your genetic makeup can increase your vulnerability for Selena 36 compulsiveness and other issues seem to run in the family. She was a perfectionist, had repetitive negative thoughts, and had to have all the shirts in her dryer buttoned a certain way or she'd get very upset. Her 8-year-old daughter, Lisa, had lacking compulsion. Every time someone left the house, Lisa could be right behind them to lock the door. Then there was Selena, 10-year-old son Samuel. Once he got a thought in his head, he couldn't get it out, and would follow his mom around the house asking her the same questions for hours. All 3 of them underwent brain spec imaging studies to see if there might be a genetic component to their problems. The brain scan showed that all 3 of them had overactivity in an area called the anterior cingulate gyrus. So this shows you that through your family history, things in your genetics and your DNA and in your makeup stems from your family. Gets deeper. 2, added stress. When there are mental health challenges in your family, it's likely that you were exposed to stressful situations throughout your lifetime. Growing up in a stressful home life, or being subject to abuse from a parent or relative increases the likelihood of developing depression or anxiety. It don't even have to be you. It's something you saw growing up. If you saw this growing up, let's say you saw this growing up and you had children, those things become a part of your genetic makeup. Okay? Even if you weren't around, it's a part of your genetic makeup. There's more. Epigenetics. A new field of genetics called epigenetics shows that our habits and emotions can impact our biology so deeply it actually causes changes in the genes that are transmitted to the next several generations. Things can change in you through genetics. Okay? Several generations. This means the stress associated with mental health challenges in your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents actually altered your genes to become more susceptible to trouble. In addition, if your ancestors ate poor diets, ate poor diets, were exposed to environmental toxins, lived with chronic stress, or didn't eat healthy or prenatal nutrition, it changed their genes and subsequently yours to be more likely to express mental health problems. There's more. When family members self-medicate. If the members of your family self-medicate with harmful substance, think alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, marijuana, or by engaging in bad habits, you are more likely to adopt some of the same behaviors. After all, exposure equals preference. These habits contribute to mental health, brain health issues. In addition, in children and grandchildren of alcoholics, childhood trauma reset and activity in their brains to a higher than normal level, setting them up for emotional problems later in life. So all this is being said to say this. Everything that happens to people through their genetics, when a child comes out, they can actually remember. They can actually play out these things. It affects them. Okay? Lack of love for the brain. When your family members don't love themselves and don't love their brain enough to change their behavior, you may also find it hard to learn to love yourself enough to engage in a brain healthy lifestyle. This puts your brain and mental well-being at risk. So the damage is already done. Okay? Now we're going to get some scriptures on all this. We're going to go into this lesson. Just had to set the stage. Okay? So, Exodus 34:7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children until the third and fourth generation. Okay, so this shows you that right here that the Most High sees all these people and the things that they did is going to constantly, when they're reincarnated, when they come back, they're going to be the same type of people. The spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Okay? So, that's with everyone. If you did things and you were a certain way growing up in your past few your existence in other lives to get to this point, that's the same thing. It's made up through your genetic biology. Your genetics is going to keep you being who you are. That's how the cycle continues to turn. Okay? The cycle moves like that. You're born, and that genetic makeup is in you, and guess what? It just keeps on repeating itself. Okay? This is Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return into the Most High who gave it. So, that's the process. Your spirit don't go to no hell or nothing of that nature. It goes to exactly what gave it. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So they gave the spirit was given. You come out on earth, you play out your part, and you are that person. Then you die and you go back up, and all the things that you were it's recycled in that same person that you are, because sperm and DNA, all it is like miniature spirits. Those are little bitty people that's not developed. That's all it is. Okay? So, Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. This is why all these Edomites have to be destroyed, because that same DNA, that same DNA, okay, that same exact DNA that was in the ones before them is the same thing that's coming back. It's going to always be racism. It's going to always be wickedness. It's going to always be just everything do as thou wilt spirit, because that same DNA in different bodies is coming back. That's all it is. But this is to that get over phrase. Okay? So, and I went to that word generation in the Bible, or online etymology dictionary. It says, body of individuals born about the same period, historically 30 years, generation, but in other uses as 17, on the notion of descendants at the same stage in the line of descendants. So you're going to be exactly who you are through your descendants. You're just coming back. Okay? It says old French generation, race, people, species, progeny, offspring, act of procreating. Modern French generation, the direct from Latin generation neum, and you go down, it says gene, to give birth, beget. So family or tribal groups. So all this is you're being brought back. Now, I say this to say, when your genetics, and this is why these people can't say this just get over it phrase. This is why. Because when you seen this, when you seen slaves on a ship, when you see this, all these things that I read, you see these things play out. Your mental, okay? Your mental evaluation on things, the way you see things when you see these slave ships. Notice something. What do black people really don't indulge in a lot of? Swimming, water. Well, you have occasions, what people do, but for the most part, we stand away from it. Why? Think about our mentality coming over here on slave ships and seeing this happen. Being tossed over and eaten by sharks. Think about that. It's already embedded in you. Okay? Going down in the slave ships. Okay? Getting over here, being sold. Just get over it, right? Children picking cotton. Look at that. Look at this. Being beaten, whipped. All these things are in our mind, and it's just natural. It's nothing you can just erase. For example, you can have your insurance, all your tags up to date. When a cop pulls you over, what's the first thing you do? You straighten up. Because you know it's an instant threat there. Okay? It's an instant threat. Because the people that done things like this to us, they're the same people that set this system up. So you can't just get over it. Okay? We can't just get over. By saying get over it, guess what? That's telling us to trust our enemies. We can't do that. Okay? That's why I said in Isaiah 14:21 that they don't rise and possess the world no more, the cities. You know what I'm saying? Because if they do, you're going to constantly have wickedness and things of this nature on the planet. Like when Saul was told, kill everything. See what happened, right? But this is the problem. This is why it can't be no just get over it. That's not going to happen. All right? Hang by trees, beaten, lashes. These things come from when you see our people today. And this doesn't by no means I don't want to put out there that what we're doing is righteous, because our people are wicked as hell. Okay? But when you look at this from this aspect, Esau, you've created a monster. And mad that the monster exists. You created it and you're mad that it exists. Okay? All the wicked shit you did to our people, you expect us to just get over it, and you're still in this place of rulership. You still control everything. And you're saying just get over it after the U.S. Capitol, the White House, and everything's been built, and you got everything, and now your system is set up in place, and it's totally against the Israelites. But you want us to just get over it. Okay? Not gonna happen. It's a Sirach 41:4. And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High? There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. The children of the sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. These people are wicked. Okay? The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father. Do you not hear that from Esau? It was me. It wasn't me. It was my forefathers. But through genetics, you're the same people that just came back again. So guess what? This makes you a fucking hypocrite. You're telling us to just get over it. But the thing is, you're the same people that did it. You're the same exact people that beat the backs of the slaves. Had them building up all these so-called monuments, obelisks and buildings and all things of that nature. You're the same people. Now it's get over it, but you're acting in the same manner that they were back then. Just like by us being rebellious and rebelling against your system is the way some of us or the slaves act back in those days. Now you said this illusion of freedom, do as thou wilt, and Negroes, Latinos, and Native, they're being wicked. Okay? They're being wicked because it's just set up that way. All right? It says, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Now you're being held accountable. You're being called the devil. Just get over it. Only a devil would say some shit like that. 400 some years, and you see the results of all the shit you've done, and all you can say is get over. Okay? This is why reincarnation and understanding genetics and genes is so important, bro. We're the same people just brought back. Okay? It says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High power, for if ye increase, it shall be to your desolation. and wickedness has increased. The shit Esau set out into the earth, it has increased. Wickedness increased majorly. The love of many shall wax cold. You just see wickedness all around you. This is Jeremiah 16 and 19. O Yahweh Shem Yahshua, my strength and my fortress, my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come into thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. You're starting to see that today. Videos of where the Edomites, they're being exposed. They're realizing they inherited lies. Okay? Shall a man make the Most High unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay? So they're going to know, because it's being made known. They're being called on their bluff. But the phrase, just get over it, it runs deeper than somebody just telling themselves slavery was a thing of the past. Your genetic buildup and makeup is who you are. And through this piece up here, get it down, where it was telling you that for 7 generations, bro. I think it's on the 3rd one. Look at this. It says a new field of genetics called epigenetics shows that our habits and emotions can impact our biology so deeply it actually causes changes in the genes that are transmitted to the next several generations. You know what genetics are? That's DNA. So when that sperm swims to that egg, the one that penetrates it, and that child is born, it can have been affected 7 generations prior to it. Everything changed by just simply seeing an Edomite whip the back of a loved one, or having a child being born and taken from their hands. And you want to talk about spreading hate? Fucking right, we hate you. These things are embedded in us now. All right? They're embedded in us. It's nothing said about Esau, bro. They just have to be destroyed. Period. Okay? But that get over it phrase, that shit for the, hey, you throw that shit out the window. Hope this is edifying. I want to say, call Allah, Yamla, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, by Shem Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, that was a great millstone. Peace and blessings to y'all. Can push this truth throughout the 4 winds. Till next time, Shalom.